And here we go.
Tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips.
Tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. It took me like 5 times to actually like be able to say it properly.
You know that's like
it's a bit of a tongue twister.
Yeah, so you do that for like choir for warm-ups.
I had a feeling it was something
or
like that.
Tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips.
It is.
It's also oh no, in Anchorman he goes, how now, brown cow? How now, brown cow?
Yeah. I was driving through Charlotte the other day, and I think I was listening to something, one of our shits, and I started doing the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips, and then I was like, do, re, mi, fa, sol, do, ti, do.
Yeah, it's just a little warm. It was like tip of the tongue. It's just for enunciation. It's a cute little thing, but
tip of the tongue, the teeth, the rakes, the dick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good. The first try, I felt like I'd hit that.
You said the rakes and the dicks. That's
tip of the tongue, the teeth that rakes the dicks.
Wow! Oh, there you go. That rakes. Yeah, you know.
I just want everybody to know that was straight out of the mind.
You know, it's really true because that's like a.
It's a problem.
It's a problem.
It's a problem.
Women don't know how much control they have in that because we're putting our member into a jagged mouth with razor blade bones.
It's meant for consumption.
Yeah. So just know, ladies, you have full control of that man at that point.
Yeah. You ever gotten a good rake?
Oh yeah, it sucks, man. It's just like, okay, hey, so
it's worse when it gets to the tip.
Yeah, I think so like my first one was horrible. First one ever was
first
horrible.
rake.
Yeah, no, but like my first BJ was like horrible at that.
Oh damn.
It was just like raking. I was like, oh god, oh shit. Like if this is what it feels like, I don't want it.
If that was your first BJ, that was technically the best and worst BJ of your life at that time.
No, okay, yeah, at that time.
Yeah, at that time.
Worst.
It's the way stats work.
Yeah, she's like, so do you like him? I'm like, it depends on you.
Well, we'll see about give me 2 or 3 more and I'll rate you.
Have you? Okay. I guess there is this new thing where like people get dentures pretty early on in life, and they'll, and then they'll take out their dentures and then do.
It's a real big thing in Gastonia.
Have you ever had that?
No, okay. Like take them out and hand them to you.
Like take out her dentures and then go down on you. Have you ever had that?
No.
Okay, me neither. But
I
couldn't do it.
I'm not 100% sure if I believe you at this moment.
No, that is the thing.
You've never had that?
No, never.
But you've heard of this?
Yes.
So,
yeah.
Where'd you hear about that?
Probably Reddit.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Now it makes sense.
And then they called it a gummy.
Oh, shit. Wrong one again.
That's all right.
My bad. We'll save a good one for next time.
Yeah, they called it a gummy. So I didn't want to say, have you ever had a gummy? Like,
you ever had a
like
gummy?
a CBD gummy? No, like a gummy.
That's a new one on me. I like that.
Yeah, a gummy where they pull out their dentures and then
Here,
go
hold
down
these.
Yeah.
Can you set those in the water on the nightstand?
I couldn't do it. Like if I saw them take out their teeth, I'd be like, you know what? We're good.
Really? You would?
No way.
You're in the hotel room.
Yep.
Ready to go. You're naked.
Hotel room? Is she a prostitute?
This sounds like a common place for that instance to happen. So you're in the hotel room and, things are about to go down. And then she's like, oh, wait a minute. And she pulls her teeth out and hands them to you. And she says, can you set these in that glass of water on the nightstand?
Yeah, no, never. That's never happened, nor will it ever. Maybe when I'm 80 and I got dentures.
The night is
young.
young.
She's got dentures and she's 80.
Just happen to be on the wrong sides of the bag. Can you put mine there and yours there?
Yeah. Right. Hold on. Wait.
Then you get them mixed up. Yeah. You imagine you go to work the next day and you look weird. Nobody can figure it out, but you just look weird.
Yeah. Be like, so what happened to you at work yesterday? I got a gummy.
I remember the first time that I ever saw my grandfather, who was actually my mom's stepdad. I remember the first time I ever saw him without his dentures when I was a kid, and he worked night shift, so he would come home and he would drink coffee after he came home and eat, and then he would go to bed. But there was one morning I was sitting there because I stayed with my grandmother for like a summer, and he didn't have his teeth in. And I had no idea at that age that he even had fake teeth.
Right.
They just weren't in. And you know how somebody looks when they don't have
Yeah,
their teeth
just
in.
like
I
their
just
lips are
like
hanging.
I
Yeah.
couldn't stop staring at him like I was eating, and he just looked so funny to me. And then finally at the end of the whatever it was, he was like, "You ain't never seen me with my teeth not out or my teeth in or whatever."
Yeah. Dude, it's something, let me tell you. And I think that's it too, like the attractiveness of that person, because your face will start to sag because your teeth are actually like holding your jawline.
yeah, that
making
makes
the
sense.
jawline.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, well, I think we got a pretty good show, and I
yeah.
want to start with one of our prior guests, Sam. One, she's doing good on the listen list, but you know she's got this niche on or niche. I say niche.
I would say niche.
Niche. How about a niche?
A niche.
A niche. There you go. She's got this niche, where she posts videos on
niche.
TikToks on the tickety talk about, you know, people approaching and everything like that. And I asked her permission to play her video, and then we kind of dissect it. So I figured we'd start there. So let me go ahead and we'll play the video all the way through. And then if we need to replay it and whatnot and ask questions as we go, we will. But here is the video she posted yesterday.
I'm too pretty for an average man to approach me, but I'm not pretty enough for an attractive man to approach me. Somebody told me this the other day. If you're new to my content, most of it is talking about how I'm single and how dating nowadays is just the pits. And so I frequently do videos talking about, you know, like how to get approached in public, how to approach people in public, how to look single in public, all the things, right? So the other day, somebody told me that I'm too pretty for an average man to feel comfortable approaching me in public, but I'm not pretty enough for a man who would be notably like attractive to approach me in public. So if that's the truth, am I just SOL? Where do I fall on that spectrum? How does one succeed if you fall on that spectrum? Also, I'm not offended by that. I'm not offended at all by that. But my question is that a thing? I guess I could see how that could be an issue. The men who are going to be confident enough to approach would maybe be more attractive men, and like I'm not attractive enough for them. I don't know. It seems to be a dilemma. Any thoughts?
Well, Sam, we do have some thoughts. Now, what's interesting is we've watched this video a few times together, and she actually does put the attractive things in quotes. I did
notice the quotes, yeah.
So she does put them in quotes. So I would say that my first question is, what makes that person that said this to her say that she is pretty, or she's too pretty for the average? What is average?
Yeah, because when I think of average, I mean, there's a societal average, but to the average person, to just anybody, you know, maybe your average is completely different than mine, which I'm sure it is, you know, and that goes with anybody. I don't think there is an average, because there's people that some might think this person is average or just downright disgusting, while there's other people that might think this person is hot and the most attractive thing in the world.
Right.
So I don't think you can really define average when it comes to, because there's so many. I mean, we all have our own opinions.
Yeah.
You know?
And then the whole not pretty enough for the attractive guy. Well, what makes them, and she does do this, the attractive man, because
what is the attractive man?
Exactly. Because
That's
I mean,
also falls in the.
We've rated ourselves. Like, I know that I am an attractive man, but am I attractive to, let's say, a celebrity who sees objectively attractive people all the time. And when I say objectively attractive, they have the face structure that people, I mean, that's why they're actors. That's why they're models. They're objectively fitting the mold of, hey, this is what attractiveness, this is what draws people to look at this person.
Which stems from societal standards.
So I would say, obviously, I'm not going to get a Nicole in Charlotte because, one, I don't think that she's objectively attractive. I think that she's materialistic, and therefore she probably doesn't see me as attractive because I can't give her the materials that she's looking for, right?
Yeah.
Where I do think that, Sam is an attractive woman. I don't think that she is too pretty for the average, and I don't think she's too pretty for the attractive. I think she's just a genuinely attractive woman that I don't think that there's an issue with people approaching her. I wouldn't say that the more attractive people will approach her or the less attractive people won't approach her. So I think that's like the law of attraction, where the law of attraction states that you put out the positive energy, the positive manifestation, and I don't like to use that word, but that's what it states, that positive things will come to you. Where if you put off a negative manifestation, negative things will come to you, right? So if you're walking around thinking that you are average in attraction, you're going to attract the average person in your mind. And if you walk around like you are so attractive, then the average person, who probably could be the good guy, you might get the guy who thinks that he is very attractive, and now you're dealing with somebody who's a piece of shit.
I think that falls into confidence all around.
Sure.
And also, too, I think no matter what, whether it's attractiveness or unattractive or average, whatever the word that's used, it's all subjective to each person.
Yeah.
And that to me just kind of flaws the whole thing.
It goes down to, I think, of what energy you're putting out when you're out.
Right. Like I said, it falls back into the confidence thing. Yep. The confidence is everything, but if you're overconfident, then you become intimidating.
Because I want to ask Sam this question: is when a man approaches you, is he objectively attractive to you, or is he or is he subjectively attractive to you? Because I would say that the attractiveness comes from the confidence, not the fact that he is objectively attractive, right? Mm-hmm. Because I know where my ranking's at. I'm at a good 6-7, right? When we come to Charlotte, like I know I'm self-aware that I am not this 6'5", blue eyes, finance, trust fund guy.
I wish it was possible to be shown one of these attractive men that's
not a celebrity.
No, right. Just your average Charlotte guy. I would like to talk to that attractive man that you think you're not pretty enough for and get his standards, get his perception.
Yeah.
Because attractiveness leads to confidence, and confidence leads to, in my opinion, success.
Yeah.
But overconfidence and overdoing anything, you're just gonna dilute it and fuck it up.
I think we also got to think about is if that person is in the position to date, maybe they have emotional intelligence and know that, hey, even if I approach her, I'm just going to be wasting her time because I'm not ready to date right now. Just got out of a relationship. I mean, there's so many factors that go into it.
Well, and at the end of the day, like, everybody has their own perception, but if that's something she's questioning about herself, is this something that she's dealt with on multiple time occasions? You know, like.
But what's that say about her then? What's that say about Sam? Because if she actually thinks that she's too pretty for the average, and then not pretty enough for the attractive man, it sounds a little conceited, But then it also sounds like there's no confidence there. So you're not going to actually, the law of attraction would say that you're not going to get that attractive man. And I'm not saying that that's what Sam thinks. I don't say that. I don't think that she's conceited. We've met her. There's not a conceited bone in her body. But I would say that if that's her mindset, maybe there is some self reflection that, maybe I am too pretty for this guy, but I'm not pretty enough for that guy, and that's the guy that I want. Well, what if then now that's a you problem, so maybe you don't want that kind of guy. Maybe you want that in the middle guy, and in that middle guy has that same psychological problem that, oh, well, she's too pretty for me. She's going to like this guy. So it's like, why can't you take the initiative? Right?
Yeah. I think everybody also is not capable of being 100% themselves, and whether you have confidence or not, you're not 100% able to be comfortable with yourself,
right?
In an active scenario where there's people around, women around, whatever. I think anytime any of us go out and we're potentially on the prowl, we're going to be trying to step it up to a level that's not our normal personality.
Right. I would say that the man, and this is my logic of it, when I am not looking to approach a woman is the night that I actually go and approach a woman.
Right. When you're not looking for it.
When there is in my mind, oh yeah, I'm going to go out, I'm going to approach 15 women, right? You see these videos. Oh yeah, how many guys are you going to talk to? 100. How many did you actually talk to? 1. Right? So I think that if I go out thinking, oh, I'm going out to get numbers, that is when you're not going to attract the woman that you want.
Well, that's all manifestation.
It is. It's the law of attraction.
You put it into if you have a destination, you're going to get there.
Yeah.
If you go into it with just, I'm just going to here to hang out and have a beer, and if it's lame, then I'm going to go.
Yep.
No expectations. If you go into it no expectations, then
here we go. We had an episode about this. No expectations. Yeah. You just go out and have fun with the boys, or you go by yourself.
Right. I was going to say, whether you're by yourself or you're with the boys or girls, whatever, like I was going to say this earlier, live in the moment. Just enjoy what you're doing or where you're at or however it may be. Just enjoy the moment.
Yeah. I see so many TikTokers like talk about, this is how you approach a woman. Why is there a science to it? Why don't you just go and, take Sam, for example. Let's say she's out with her friends and I'm by myself or I'm with you. And we lock eyes for 2 seconds. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to think anything of it. It's just like, hey, wow, she's a cute girl. But because she's cute, I'm going to just see, hey, maybe we could lock eyes again later on. And if we lock eyes again, it's like, okay, there's obviously some type of interest there. Now I can feel confident enough to do that. So my question then to Sam is are you doing that? Or is it just kind of like you want that spur of the moment guy that's just kind of infatuated with you? Because to me, that's a red flag at that point. If he's already infatuated with you and he's been looking at you all night.
Well, see that everybody has their own expectations. Sam wants, I'm sorry, not Sam.
Yeah.
Every woman has their idea of the perfect approach.
Right.
Every man has his idea of the perfect pickup line, or I swear I'm not drunk. I keep fumbling my words.
We both have. Talking's hard today.
Yeah, it really is. But that's solely going out with expectations.
Right.
You can't maybe it's not the right way, but it's what I believe is go with no expectations.
So she also said in her video that she posts this because dating kind of, she insinuated that it sucks, it's horrible. But maybe that's the law of attraction then too, is she's going out and she has it in her mind, no one's going to approach me because I feel this way about myself. So the law of attraction is like, yeah, so she is only getting talked to by average men. But what if that average man is actually a really good guy?
I agree. But also too, if we're talking about Sam, I still believe she is very much limiting herself on the potentials that are out there for her.
I agree that she's limiting, but we also have to make sense that that is something that she's not going to budge on, so we can't hold that against her.
And that's not where I'm getting. But if you're limiting yourself, it's like we talked about before. What if you meet people in at a concert or something? What if you meet a guy at a concert? It's not going to be written on his shirt that he's a devout Christian.
Right.
It's not going to say he likes to play volleyball and whatever, ice skate.
Why did you make those two connections?
I don't know. It sound like good sports. But yeah, like she, to me, she's living in the reality of the internet and not in the reality of true life, because you're not going to know those things right off the bat when you meet these people in person. But with a dating profile, you get all this general information, and she has one locked in thing that has to be there. She it gives too much right off the bat, because man or woman, whoever it may be, it's a dating profile. We're not trained to make the perfect dating profile. We're making dating profiles in hopes to meet somebody. I might not be the best at writing a great description about myself, while on the other hand, somebody that's equal to me may be better at writing a good description,
right.
Which could, let's just say I had a clone of myself and I wrote,
or AI.
Right. I wrote, I had this perfect fucking profile, and then the other clone of myself just has this kind of, thrown together thing, but maybe I got good pictures or whatever. It's law of attraction. It falls into so many categories.
Sure.
And I think dating profiles alone limit you from so much.
So I agree,
but it's
and
so
disagree
easy
with
to
you.
meet people at the same time.
I agree that she limits herself, but I understand her limitations. But I think she's strictly talking about out in the wild.
Yeah.
And I'd like to know the person that said that, because I think that it's not Sam that's being shallow, right? I think it's the person. I think it's the person that said that who's being shallow. And she didn't say the gender, but I'm going to go ahead and say that it was a guy
that said that
to her. And that it was probably a guy that was approaching her. And then now she made the...
I feel like that's a little too complicated of a question for a guy to ask.
Really? Because
in my mind, I had woman the whole time that asked that question.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
So here's why I think it's a man. I think just knowing the context, like she was traveling at the time, so she's finally back with her followers to share her experiences. Mm-hmm. They were at the bar together, and this guy approached her. She's not giving him the time of day, as in hey, not interested type thing. Or maybe she was interested, but knowing that it would never work out because he could be from a different continent or a different state, just not going to work out. So he's like, you're just you're too pretty for the average guy. So he's calling himself average. And then
she considered her out of his league, and so she's a nice person, but still maybe he got his feelings hurt.
Yeah, so maybe he feels like he's average.
Yeah.
And based on her interaction, and then she was kind of caught off guard by what he said, and he was just kind of throwing it out there.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, do you give the average guy a shot, or do you just you are searching for that one beautiful man that has the confidence that's a nice guy in this? But with her standard, I would say that, or I'm not even gonna say her standard, I'm gonna say in most women's standard, they want the baddie of the men, right? Like the hottie who has this confidence and has this thing about him that just he draws the room to him. Okay, there's a reason why he draws a room to him. There's a reason why he has all this self-confidence, and there's a reason why all these other things fit. And 9 times out of 10, it's a huge red flag. That one time you find that person, it's probably a little less organic. It probably just fell in your lap. And at first, like if you hear all the successful love stories, like you almost hear the girls like, well, I wasn't really that interested in him, but he just like, you know what I mean?
He
It's just like,
kept
oh,
trying.
wow. Right. He just kept trying.
He asked me on 57 dates, and I finally said yes on 58.
Yeah, right. And it's just like, okay, so why does this guy have all these women talking to him? Why does this man go out every Friday night and he's got different numbers? Why is he so confident? You know, is it because he might be using them? Is it because he's a grandiose type person, which means that he's got more mental instability? You know, and if she's looking for a Christian man, all cult leaders have narcissistic personality disorder. So if you're looking for this good looking Christian guy and he's like, oh yeah, I'm totally is he just saying that?
Is it fair to say that if you're looking for this cliche Christian guy, that he's probably going to be a bit more submissive than the guy that you truly want?
Yeah, that's unfair.
You think?
Yeah.
I just feel like somebody who's just as deep in as she's looking for would not be so,
Dominant?
yeah,
No, I think
masculine, not masculine, but just dominant in general. Like it just doesn't.
I think that she would have to watch out for both, right?
Yeah.
I think that if you run into a guy who's completely dominant, then he believes that women should be silent in church, and he believes that women are just there to be baby makers, right? I say stay away from that man.
Yeah.
And then you've got the subordinate one who is just like, oh, I'm just, you know, whatever you want. Like, you don't really want that. You don't want to lead your partner,
Yeah.
right? Because that would be anti-scriptural as well. You want to be led and stuff like that, but led in such a way that it's compatibilism, right? It's complementarian, right? It's not egalitarian. So I would say that you have to be careful of that. Like, does he believe in this, and that? And that's on her. She needs to know what she's looking for and what this man believes, but then he also has to be able to answer those questions, right? And if he's able to answer those, I think the average looking guy will become attractive to him or to her. You know, this average man is now very attractive, and it doesn't matter what other people think. So I think that's the problem with,
Do you
like,
feel the average man's going to be the more faithful, more loving, genuine?
I don't even like that word average. I don't like that word because
I don't like the word either, but like it does define.
yes, the fact that average man approached someone that he finds
The
attractive.
average man is the blue collar man.
Yes.
Which if I that's where I would put the two.
Yep.
Like blue collar is the average man.
Yeah.
So those are usually, you know, if you have a true blue collar guy that, you know, works his ass off and barely gets by, he's going to be way more genuine than that guy that's just got it all and you
Right.
think he's just far beyond your league and whatever. Like that guy's probably going to be, he's probably going to treat you
Yeah.
the way he treats his money. He's just going to throw it away.
I saw a TikTok from Nicole in Charlotte, and she's like, I'm 31, but this 24-year-old approached me, and he was hanging out with me and showing me all this attention, and he's very smart, intelligent, has his head on his shoulders. I'm like, yeah, he's already manipulated you.
Because he was showing you all that attention.
He was showing you all that attention. He's younger.
See, that's ridiculous. Like
And here's the thing.
I
It was in
stopped
Charlotte.
listening after you said, "Show me all that attention." Like
Yeah.
that's all I caught on
Right?
to.
So the fact is he's 24. He just started dating.
Of course, he's going to show you all the attention.
He's gonna
He's
show
just
you
trying
all
to
the
get his
attention.
dick wet.
And listen, she is a objectively good-looking woman.
Yeah,
Regardless of the work that has happened, she's a objectively good-looking woman, but he's gonna become infatuated, love bomb her, and then she's gonna keep going to therapy for her ex and this ex now for narcissistic personality disorder because the kid's got money.
does it make sense for a 30 to 35-year-old to date a 20 to 25-year-old, or maybe even 20? okay, 25 to or 20 to 25, or maybe 23 to 26. Like, does it make sense for a woman in her 30s to date somebody that young?
A woman, no. A man, I could see it differently.
Right. I could
for
too.
a woman.
I agree with that. But like a woman dating a guy that young,
yeah, no.
at that age, I do believe women are smarter than men.
Yeah.
But then when a man gets in his 30s, I believe he starts realizing some shit, maturing, and a little more self-control, able to tell himself, no, that's probably not what I should do tonight, you know?
Yeah.
But like like you said, like a 35-year-old man talking to a 24-year-old girl.
It's a little different. I would still, so like I met my ex-girlfriend, I was 36 and she was 26, but she had 3 kids. Right.
So she's pretty adulted.
She's already adulting. If I went out and as a 37-year-old man and a 26-year-old woman approached me, no, that's not attractive to me. You know why? Because while I feel great, thank you, you find me attractive, we have nothing in common. You know, you still say Riz, you know, your career is taking place. Right. I'm already set in my ways. Now, can I change? Of course. But I'm set in my ways. I know what I'm looking for. And that's just how the cookie crumbles. Mm-hmm. Now, there are other men that want to be sugar daddies. That's not me. No. You know, so it's that whole approaching and confidence. Like, I'm confident in myself that I'm not going to go up to a 26-year-old to 25-year-old. I'll go up to a 30 to 35-year-old easily. I'll even go up to older than me.
I feel like maybe 28 to 35.
I could probably do a 28 to 30-year-old.
Yeah, about the range that I would prefer.
Yeah.
Like, I have a range, but that's the range I truly, maybe not even 28. At least 30 to 35.
Yeah.
For now.
So when I see these, you know, 30-year-old singles on TikTok, and why aren't men doing this? I think you're looking for that 24-year-old, or you're looking for that person to hurt you. Honestly, that's what I say. Because, and we'll get into this next segment, so we'll take a break after what I just say, is because there are men out there that have been dating for a while, and the internet is mean to them. Mm-hmm. The internet tells people that men are bad. So now this average man who was confident has no confidence in approaching a woman because all he thinks about is that if I approach this woman, I'm not this 24-year-old. I'm not this guy in finance who's 6'5", blue eyes with trust fund. All she's going to do is post me on the internet. All she's going to do is say that this is. And men don't have their story. Men don't have the ability to say, this is actually what happened. This was the conversation. This is what happened. It's the whole bear in the woods thing. Mm-hmm. It's the whole bear in the woods. And because of the bear in the woods, the average man is not going to approach, which makes him less attractive. But really, I say is he's actually the good looking one, because the guy that's approaching that thinks he's all that in a bag of chips is the one that's causing these women to choose the bear over the man.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the whole bear thing is truly points out a lot about women these days.
Yep.
And
because if you ask them, if you went to the bathroom, and
it's such a quick answer too.
Yeah.
It's not even like,
hey, guess what? If they went into the bathroom and a bear walked in, what are they going to do?
Shit their fucking pants and be screaming.
But a man walks in, they're going to be like, get out, you perv. Right? Yeah. But if
they might scream, but I don't think they shit their pants like the bear.
Because that guy be like, oh shit, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm sorry, I'm drunk.
I mean, of course you're going to have, but
then that goes into also like,
maybe the one that comes in there for a reason.
But then you also got trans men that are going into these bathrooms and they're okay with that. Yeah. So it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like
it's so confusing.
Yeah. So then if a bear walks into a man's bathroom, you know what all those men in that bathroom are going to do? Fight night.
You know what the difference is when it comes to men, there's so many different types of men. Yep. And yes, there are so many different species of bears, but a bear's a fucking bear.
Yeah. Yeah. A panda could still fuck you up.
It's a wild animal. Yeah. A man is a human being.
Yeah. It's just the unpredictableness of the man. But that's the risk you take of driving a car. Because guess what? Men drive cars. Right?
Yeah.
It's the unpredictability of just humans. It's not a man thing. It's a human thing.
You're just projecting your past.
Right. And because of those projections, it's making this confident man who could be objectively attractive become the average man.
Right.
You know, so I actually
love how we've dissected this the way we have.
I think that we nailed it, although we probably could be wrong in some areas. So we'd love for you guys to correct us.
If we're wrong, then tell us.
Yep.
Please.
We are okay.
We want to be
correction.
told we're wrong, just to hear a different perspective.
Hold on. We want to be told we're wrong, but please come with like some type of facts about it, because facts and truth, which is what we're going to talk about next.
Yeah.
Because you can say something, but just because you feel that way doesn't make it true, right?
Right. 100%. I agree. All right, let's take a quick break.
Shit, I came for the throne. Try and test me, I'm crushing your bones. We got bands of the loud getting flown. Police watching the spot like a drone. I just made me a rack off the phone. I'm just reaping the seeds that were sown. In the trap till my cover get blown. Serving ball off the ball like my home. Weird said shit, I came for the throne. Try and test me, I'm crushing your bones. We got bands of the loud getting flown. Police watching the spot like a drone. I just made me a rack off the phone. I'm just reaping the seeds that were sown. In the trap till my cover get blown. Serving ball out the ball like my home. Throwing ball out the ball like I'm Brady.